Hi, my name is Chris and this is Battle Nonsense. Today on the 15th of July, DICE LA started testing different values for the frame history time. And since that is adjusted server-side, you don't need to download a new patch. So, as I explained in previous videos, decreasing this value should really help with the problem that you get killed around cover. That is because even though the hit registration is done inside your client, the server can still reject the hit if you are, in example, lagging or suffering from a big amount of packet loss. In such a case, your hit does not register. Means you will see the blood splatter on your screen, but you will not see a hit marker. This is okay because you have a bad connection. If the hit would be registered, then this would be unfair for the player who has a good connection. The problem we have right now is that the server is a bit too forgiving for how bad the connection of a player can be to still have his shots registered. And as a result, you get killed around cover. So to get that issue fixed would remove one of the most frustrating and infuriating problems Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 are suffering from. In the CTE we now have 3 server types. They are named FHT, Group A, B and C. They are available for Europe, East and West North America. These are running with different values for the frame history time. The reason why DICE LA does not tell us the exact values is because they want unbiased test results. So if you have access to the CTE, then please help to test this. Get the servers populated and post your feedback in the frame history time topic in the CTE forum. The link to this topic is also in the description. What the developers want to know is which server you played on, what your latency to that server was, what your ping to that server was, how many of your hits did not register, means that you seen the blood splatter but no hit marker, and how many rounds you played on that server. A few of those questions are not that easy to answer, so let me walk you through it. Once you joined one of the A, B or C servers, open the console. Now type network perf overlay.draw graph 1 and press enter. This will give you the network graph overlay. Now let me explain what you see here. First item is the high frequency update. In the current CTE build, the auto setting is enforced, so you cannot change this by hand. If your connection is good, you should see it say 30 Hz all the time. If it goes up and down between 10, 15, 20 and 30 Hz, then please tell that to the developers in the CTE forums. The next one is inbound packet loss. This means how much of the data that the server is sending to your client does not arrive. Similar with the outbound packet loss, which means how much of the data you send to the server does not arrive there. It's obviously very bad if data gets lost and does not reach its destination. This is causing all sorts of problems, like an increased delay. Next one is the latency. This value is not the same as the ping in the scoreboard. The ping in the scoreboard is the time a packet needs from your client to the server and then back to your client. It's like you send a letter to a friend and he sends one back to you. The time between sending and receiving is the ping. Now, just like the ping, the latency value is also the time a packet needs from your client to the server and back to your client. The difference between latency and ping is that for a ping you get an immediate response from the server, while the latency is measured by tracking when the packet acknowledgement for send packets is received. The packet receipt indicator may be buffered for a frame, so multiple acknowledgements are batched. This means that this time might increase as a result of server degradation. The ping may also be affected by server degradation, but to a lesser extent. The latency displayed is the average over a number of samples. Obviously, lower values are always better. And lastly, the move queue. It displays the number of moves pending to be sent to the server or waiting for an acknowledgement from the server. A higher number is worse. So the network performance overlay gives you and the developers a ton of important information to find out what causes issues that you experience. So when you report issues in the CTE forums, always make sure that you include that information. Ideal would be to always capture your gameplay when you play on the CTE servers. Providing the developers with such footage makes it much easier for them to track down problems. If you are recording your gameplay, then it is a good idea to open the scoreboard every time you get killed. Because knowing the ping of the player who killed you is also important for the developers in case that you are experiencing issues in your gameplay. If you don't want to type that command into the console every time you play on a CTE server, then just create a user.cfg file in the Battlefield 4 CTE folder, and this will be active every time you join an CTE server. Okay guys, so let's fill up the test servers now and get some testing done. And please do not forget to post your feedback in the frame history time topic. This means that you should also post in that topic if everything went well on a server. And in case you do experience problems, make sure that you include all the information that the developers need, and the video would be really helpful for them to understand what kind of problem you had. So I will go back to just a bit more on the servers. See you there. If you want to reach me, you can do so by email, Twitter and now also on Facebook. The links are in the description. If you like my content, then please consider to hit the subscribe button and I might see you next time. Until then, have a nice day and take care. My name is Chris and this was Battle Nonsense.